Can Spain's meanest defense in the entire tournament finally put a stop to the man with 8 goals? I mean, we're talking about two massive pre-tournament favorites here. 0 losses between them all summer. And now a fresh injury scare that could literally change everything right before kickoff. France versus Spain in Dallas. A place in the final is officially on the line. Here's the full breakdown. So we're essentially looking at the ultimate clash between an unstoppable force and an immovable object, right? Spain has been locking teams down completely, but trying to put the brakes on a guy who's already netted 8 goals? That's a whole different ballgame, especially when there's this fresh, massive injury concern looming over the match that could upend all the tactics before they even step on the grass. Okay, let's dive into this. A spot in the final is quite literally on the line tonight. When you get to this stage of a tournament, playing under those incredibly bright lights in a historic venue like Dallas, man, you can just feel the raw emotion. Every single tackle, every pass, every minor tactical tweak is magnified 100 times over. Now, you might be wondering, are these genuinely the two absolute best teams left in this World Cup? Have they actually earned it, or did someone get an easy bracket? Let's take a quick look at the flawless heavyweight runs that brought both of these squads to this exact moment. Look at France. They are just an absolute offensive juggernaut right now. 6 straight wins, 16 goals scored. They are aiming to become just the second European nation ever to reach 3 straight World Cup finals. Think about that for a second. On the flip side, Spain has been a little quieter, sure, but absolutely ruthless. 5 wins, 4 clean sheets, and they've conceded just 1 single goal all tournament. Though, to be fair, their toughest test so far was a pretty narrow 2-1 win over Belgium. But guys, there is a massive, glaring question mark hanging right over the French camp today. Is their biggest weapon actually fully fit? Because if you watched that game against Morocco, you saw Kylian Mbappe physically sit down on the pitch and specifically ask to be substituted in the 77th minute. He's expected to start, but man, that is a terrifying injury scare heading into a semifinal. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is just how heavily France leans on this guy. Out of France's 13 tournament goals, Mbappe alone has scored 8 of them. The entire rest of the squad combined has just 5. When one single player is driving your offense to that extreme degree, even a slight knock becomes a complete system-level crisis. So who actually wins the individual duels that are going to decide this game? Because, games of this magnitude, they're won and lost in the trenches. Let's shift gears and look at the specific, critical, on-pitch matchups that will totally dictate the tactical flow today. First up, it's all about Mbappe's blistering pace and directness, going right up against Spain's suffocating defensive structure. And I mean suffocating. It's the exact same system that has successfully kept nearly every single opponent from generating any real chances. If Mbappe is even a half step slow today because of that injury, that Spanish block might just swallow him up entirely. On the other side of the pitch, Spain has an incredible wild card, teenage sensation Lamine Yamal. I mean, at an age where most kids are stressing over high school exams, he is out here carrying his nation's hopes on the world stage. Now, he is still nursing a little hamstring issue himself, but if he finds his rhythm and gets his true breakout World Cup moment tonight, he could absolutely dismantle France's game plan. Let's move to and see how this builds. Because you have to ask, does the history between these two teams even matter tonight? The short answer is yes, absolutely. These guys aren't strangers meeting for the first time. They have very recent history, and the mental baggage they are bringing into Dallas is massive. Remember, these exact sides just met back in a Euro 2024 semifinal, and Spain won that match 2-1 on their way to becoming European champions. And guess what? Many of those exact same players, the exact same tactical systems, they're all back on the pitch today. This is quite literally a highly anticipated rematch 2 years in the making. Spain knows they can win on a huge stage, and France is absolutely desperate to flip the script. So, who do the models actually favor here? We've talked about the history, the injuries, all the tactics, but if we strip away all the subjective hype for a second, who mathematically holds the edge heading into this showdown? And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what the data is saying. Opta's supercomputer actually gives France a 34.6% chance to win the whole tournament, with Spain trailing a bit at 23.8%. The bookmakers are seeing it the same way, putting France as slight favorites at around -150 to advance, while Spain sits at +128. So, the hard bath? It definitely leans towards France. So what actually happens in Dallas tonight? Here is the overarching narrative. Spain's untested but absolutely top-tier defense is finally going up against a razor-sharp French attack. But of course, France is betting the house on a superstar who might not be at 100%. So the crucial point is this. A defense can really only hold out for so long against that kind of overwhelming firepower. My call? It's going to be a highly tactical, incredibly tight game, but I think France edges it 1-0. Even with the injury scare, you just have to expect Mbappe to step up and find that crucial breakthrough goal. But hey, that's just my read on it. So what is your prediction? Does France's attack finally break Spain's wall down, or does Spain hold them off and reach another final while France seeks revenge for that Euro 2024 clash? Drop your exact score predictions down in the comments right now. Make sure you like this explainer, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys right before kickoff.